Hello y'all, my name is Pokezeus and today this discussion of the day will be what you need as a card vendor versus things that also just help out as a card vendor. The first part of this video will be for things you absolutely need and that will make a world of difference. Then the second part of this video will be conveniences that I've found make my life easier as a card vendor, especially doing card shows for an upwards of 6 to 8 hours. I would say the number one thing you need as a card vendor, non-material wise, is having a good attitude, because sometimes you will get angry customers. You will get customers that are dissatisfied by your prices or the way you have things set up or whatever it is. You got to make sure that you have an attitude that can appeal to most of the community. That way you can make more money, because at the end of the day, as a vendor, you're trying to get rid of product, you're trying to liquidate product, and you're also trying to trade product, which brings me to my next suggestion. The second thing you're most likely going to need is product, whether it be, slabs or sealed product or singles. Make sure you kind of have a variety around it. I know my first show, I didn't have a lot, but I did have a variety, whether it was ETBs or singles or packs or whatever. Having that variety is going to open up your doors to more business. And with that being said, be open to doing trades as well. You can go back to my other YouTube videos. I'll throw a couple of the thumbnails up now. You can see I did quite a few trades throughout the day, which brought up a lot of new products and a lot of new ideas that I had around being a card vendor. I will say one of the most unique things I've ever picked up was this graded booster pack in a Gem 10. I think it's worth like $50, but this is something you don't see on the market. There's something you don't really see other than if you go like on eBay or wherever the case is. You don't see that in store, which is unique. It makes it unique and it makes people want to buy it or be interested in it. With that being said, the next thing that you're going to need is a good variety of display pieces, whether it be card cases or binders. Whatever the case, you don't want to just throw your cards on a table and have it just free roaming, I guess you could say. I notice a lot of the higher up vendors that I work with, they have very nice card displays, but those cost in upwards of $100 to $200. I don't have that kind of money. I do now, but starting off I didn't. So what I did, I went on Amazon. I'll throw a link in the description of a good one that I think's pretty decent. It's around $60. You're going to spend some money to look nice, but your cards will be secure from thieves, from people just walking by with wandering hands. Display pieces are really great for graded cards and singles. I also have booster pack display or dispensers. Those costed me a little bit more. They're about $70. I have two of them because I sell Japanese and English packs. I keep them kind of separate, but those work very well for customers to pick their own packs, pull them out. I don't have to worry about constantly taking stuff out of displays. They can bring them to me. I see them, grab it, obviously, but it's much easier that way for dispensing packs of cards. And then also binders. You can find binders at Walmart, Target, Amazon for as little as $10. I definitely recommend having binders. It's easier to bring your cards to the show and transport stuff that way. And it's also a lot easier for the customer to see what you have. I know I have 3 binders on my table at this point in time. I have my singles binder, which everything in there is $1. I have my vintage binder, which all of those cards in there are older than like 2006, I believe. I think the World Championship cards are the oldest in there. And then I also have my higher end binder, which I keep cards from $2 to $15. It adds variety to the table and it adds different outlets for people to look at if they're waiting on something else. With that being said, you also need somewhere to put your money. I do not recommend just putting your money in your pocket. I know I'm kind of guilty of this, but it makes it easier. I'm not going to lie, just putting a wad of cash in there. But I also have a partner that helps me out, and she has her purse, so I put it in there so it's secure. It's not necessarily a necessity, but it does help a ton to have somewhere to put the money and keep it organized, so that way you can give out change properly, and nobody else is taking your money. I also recommend tablecloths. It's, again, actually, it is a necessity. Some of the tables that I go to for shows are so beat up, they sometimes have sticky stuff on the table. You do not want to get your cards all messed up. So go on Amazon and look up 8-foot tablecloth. They're like a 2-pack for $18, and it really makes the presentation look nice, and it makes your table look more professional. People are going to go to those tables. When I go to card shows as a customer, if there's 2 tables next to each other and one dude just has the wooden plain table, or like the lawn chair table with nothing on it, and the cards are all just kind of mismatched, and then the guy next to him has a more put together table, I'm going to the more put together table because I know those cards are probably taken care of much better. Also, what I do for myself that I don't see a lot of vendors doing, but maybe they do, is I have a survival kit. Not necessarily to survive, but to make sure the cards survive, you know? I'll usually bring a ETB box or something like this, a box like this, and I will put sleeves in there, whether, you know, I got my drawer right here. I'll bring a pack of sleeves. So, you know, if I'm picking up cards, people are trading me cards and they don't have sleeves on their cards, bam, I have sleeves. I also bring graded card sleeves right here as like shopping bags. You know, if people buy 2 to 3 cards and they don't have a binder, I want to be able to make sure that their cards are secure until they get home. So I'll throw them in there, and then I'll usually throw in a business card, which comes later in the video. And then I'll also bring in top loaders so that people can continue on about the show without worrying about their card getting bent in their pocket. That's something I do. You don't have to, but it's like a little survival kit. I also throw a pen in there because I mark prices as I go, especially if I'm doing trading. So I'll buy these sheets from Walmart. They're little, like the little white sheets, and I'll put the price right on the card and I'll put it back in the binder or the case. You know, if I'm doing a trade, I usually trade at about 75 to 80%, and then I buy at 65%. So whatever the case is, if that's more inventory that I can liquidate that day, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to wait till the next show, especially because shows are still pretty sparse for me. With that being said, we have 3 videos coming out this month in January. We have 3 card shows. I'll throw up all the banners now. So it's going to be a busy week. We're going to have a lot of card show videos. So if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe. We're at 210 out of 250. When we get to 250 subscribers, we'll be doing a giveaway for one of these slabs right here. So make sure you get in on that. With that being said, we're going into the wants and what I think makes being a card vendor more luxurious. The first thing being a card reader. You know, I got this square card reader for Christmas right here. I think it's like around $250. I'll turn it on real quick so you guys can see. So that's what it looks like when it loads up. But this has been a lifesaver, especially if you're taking online payment. I do cash and card only at this point because PayPal, Cash App, all of those things tax you, and I don't want to be filling out 6 different 1099 forms at the end of the year. Square, I know I'm not advertising, but I'm just telling y'all straight to face, you know, they tax straight on here. I can set the tax of the state I'm in. I'm in Virginia, so the tax is 5.3% for sales, so I can actually input it straight on the register, and it will charge the tax on the card, so I don't have to worry about taxes later. If anything, I will get money back. When it loads up, it kind of looks like an iPhone, I'm not going to lie, but this is all it is. So say a product's 20 bucks. It's simple as that. I don't need you to put in your Cash App. I don't need you to scan a QR code. And it also has a receipt option at the top, so I can print out a receipt right straight to your email or phone from this. It makes life a lot easier, especially if I'm recording a video for you guys on my phone. And then I just review sale. And then see, it adds the tax right to it. It's a safe, secure way for people to use their card. It's not like a card reader. It is a card reader, but it's not a... Businesses use this all the time. I've been to so many different small shop businesses in the area that use the same exact thing. So that's why I invested into it. And you can also do a thing where you add your own items. For example, you can see on here, I have my treasure box, which is 40 bucks. So I would just click that, instantly puts it in. And I have the booster pack bundle and a single booster pack. So if people want to use their card, it is now an option. Another thing I recommend doing as a card show business is, if you're only doing card shows, this doesn't really apply to you, but I have an online business. I'm going to be opening an online website here soon, and I do YouTube. For you guys, obviously, that are watching this, I do YouTube. And the next second thing I would say as a card vendor is branding. You know, I have my own shirt. I wore it to my last convention. My girlfriend actually was nice enough and got me this for Valentine's Day, so it goes to all my shows. Pokezeus. And then I also recently got into business cards, and I have this business card right here. It has my logo, buy, sell, trade. It shows my YouTube and when I was established. It doesn't have any links yet. This is kind of the first wave of cards, but anytime I sell a card on TCG Player or at a card show, I always offer them this because it brings clout and it brings awareness to my YouTube, which is my main goal of what I want to do is YouTube. And yeah, I would just recommend a lot of branding if you can. Also, with that being said, if you are doing YouTube, there's a very important thing that you need. It is in fact not a tripod. You can still use your hand to record. I know I have a gimbal that my girlfriend got me for Christmas and it helps a lot. But for a while, I did not have anything and I just used my hands on my phone. But the most important thing is mics. I have one right here, as you can see. Card shows are extremely loud, especially for people that aren't deaf like me. With that being said, not all of your audio is going to be clear when you're trying to do your YouTube videos. And one of these little microphone cases costed me, I think this one was $60 by Hollyland. It has saved my YouTube videos life at some points because you can really hear my voice and how loud it is in the background. So microphones are pretty important if you're trying to film the card shows. Another thing that's kind of important, if you take online sales through Cash App, PayPal, and you use your phone constantly to check prices, which is a very good thing to do, make sure your prices are accurate when you're selling, is a power bank. I have a little power bank right here. I think it cost me like $15 and it charges my phone 3 times over. So my phone is always good to go, always charged, and really ready to go when I need it, whether it to be checking TCG Player or to cash somebody out. The next thing we are going to talk about is transportation. Now, I know a lot of you guys, probably if you're watching this video, are just starting out, and what I can say for transportation is the best. By far, I know everybody does it, is get a beach trolley. I said this in one of my last videos, but they're around $50 on Amazon. They look like this. They saved my life. I could put everything in there, in grocery bags or whatever you have, and one-stop trip to your car, to the table. It makes life so much easier. It's not very expensive really at all. $50, you'll make that in your first show if you have good product. And it makes life a lot easier. It makes everything move smoother. So definitely get a beach trolley. That is a necessity in my point. But if you can't afford one, then I guess it isn't really a necessity. The other things are more important. Which brings me to my last point of wants for a card show. Recently, I started doing this. I've done it at my last 2 card shows, but I bring my computer. I just have a simple HP Smart Touch. I think it was like $400. I'm sure most of you have some sort of Chromebook, computer, iPad, whatever it is. Even your phone, if you don't have that, will work. But I bring a computer because it allows me to look up prices and then also check people out, whether they're using a card or cash or whatever. I can look it up right on the computer. I can flip around the computer and I can show them from online. Most of the card shows I go to have Wi-Fi, so that's not really a worry with me. But I definitely bring my computer, I bring my card reader, and I don't have to worry about having a cash register or constantly using my phone, and that gives me more time to use my phone to film videos, which is important to me. With that being said, that's about all I have of tips and tricks on being a card vendor that I can think of. Like I said, the only 2 materialist things that you need are a good attitude and honestly interlinking with other vendors. I can't tell you how many people I've become friends with that, you know, they're also vendors and they'll hook me up with deals. I'll throw up some Pot's Instagram right here, as well as Pokezeus on TikTok. Those are 2 of my pretty good friends. When I go to card shows, I can kind of talk to them, get advice. We do deals with each other, whether he's buying stuff from me or I'll buy stuff from them. But definitely get like a little interweb of other card vendors to help you out, because you never know what you'll need or what advice you'll need or have to give. So definitely be friendly. You know, that goes along with the attitude thing. It's very important. Other than that, I don't have anything else for you guys. With that being said, that's about it. That's about it on how to be a card vendor. If you do those simple things, you will succeed with your first card show, and you will start to see the profits and the growth of your own businesses. And I wish you all the best. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces.